Goalball is a team sport where blind people kneel on the floor of a gymnasium and try and bean each other with a really hard soccer ball with a bell in it. The City of Toronto Parks and Rec Department runs goalball sessions, which I think is pretty cool. It's not run by a blindness organization, it's just part of the community recreational activities. So it happens at a community center every Friday night. Most of the players are totally blind, and in the background you'll occasionally hear the sounds of a very young guide dog for one of the participants who's in a side room because he's very excited about goalball and is quite offended that he hasn't been asked to play on the team because he'd make a great center. He's pretty young and excitable, and goalball gets him pretty wound up, so he's kept off to the side, and I don't think he's too pleased about that. There's about a dozen or so people who sign up typically, and it's a 3-on-3 team sport. So there's a center and 2 wings, and the court is indicated on the floor by tape so that you know you can orient yourself on the court. When you throw the ball, of course, the aim is to score a goal, which means that you get it between the players of the opposing team and it gets past the goal line. The other things that can happen are the shot gets blocked by another player and then the ball gets fired back, or the ball can be, if you misdirect it, it can go outside of the bounds of the court and then it's said to be out, and it's put back into the court and the opposing team has an opportunity to throw. Goalball is a Paralympic sport, and so there are varying levels of skill. One of the players who comes out was on the Paralympic team at one time. There's a good gender ratio in the players, so sometimes the games will be very fast and sometimes they'll be a bit slower, but the teams are randomized so everyone gets a chance to play with people at different skill levels. It can be sort of intimidating if you're a more gentle player or you're not super strong to be across from someone who is really strong and has a really hard shot. But we're all pals, and so far so good, no serious injuries. You guys, those teams were evenly matched. I don't know, man.
Winning team versus winning team.
We're allowed to person, I know.
Right center, Maria's on the right, and Alan's on the left. Ball in, play.
I'll say frankly, I don't play. I played once and decided that I wasn't going to play again unless I could be encased in bubble wrap, because when that ball hits you, it hurts. A lot of my friends play though, and so I typically go on Fridays to cheer them on and remind myself why I don't want to be on the floor with my friends throwing things at me. The gear for goalball usually includes elbow pads, knee pads, and pants that have padding on the side of the hip, because part of the time you're kneeling, part of the time you're on your side in a blocking position so that you're covering as much of the floor across your goal as possible, because it's sort of a two-dimensional sport. The ball is thrown pretty much at ground level, so you can roll it or throw it just a few inches above the ground, and there's a high ball line above which your shot becomes invalid if you shoot it too high. It's pretty cool. It's some sighted people play also, which I think is very adventurous of them. Everyone's required to wear blackout goggles to make sure that partially sighted or sighted people are not using vision, so that everyone is working completely without sight.
How many people are going to kill for us?
And after, we go do a game post-mortem at the local pub.
We are.
There's a Jason 7.